Hello peeps, Twisted Foot here, bringing you another Boundless video. In this video I am going to start a new character. I've been wanting to do this for a while, since when I first started playing Boundless. I wasn't necessarily making YouTube videos at that moment, so I've kind of always wanted to record starting fresh in this game. So let's create a new alt for me, and we are going to be Twisted Baby. So I want to let's go US West. I don't know, I can't remember which ones are which. So this is what it's like when you first start out. You come in and you have some objectives to start with. So we have a new dawn: move forward and explore the Sanctum. So it's teaching us the basic controls with WASD to move. Mouse moves the camera and space is jump. So as we start to move and we approach Sanctum, that quest is gone. So now we walked across the light cubes. Now we have the light cube. So our next objective is now to collect the totem and warp crystal. It says, using held items left in the dark when holding the light cube, press your left mouse button to light your way. So it's teaching us that this is what we have for a light source right now. So now we approach these and we should be able to pick these up automatically. Upgrading tools: press E to open the inventory. Combine the warp crystal and totem to enable world destination selection. Warp crystals are needed to visit any world for the first time. So if this is totally new to you guys, this is what Sanctum looks like. This is kind of the safe area that you start in when you first load up the game. And this guy is supposed to be representative of the basically the trainer teaching you through the tutorial. So let's open up our inventory and we will combine our warp crystal into, so this is the light cube, this is our totem, and this is our warp crystals. We need to combine the warp crystal into our totem. So we already have the totem equipped in our right hand. So selecting a warp destination. So now our current quest is, or objective is, to use our combined totem to pinpoint our warp destination on a world. And far above you sits the known worlds ready for exploration. Look up at a world and then hold the right mouse button to jettison the warp crystal to your selected destination. Warp crystals are consumed on impact with your chosen warp location. So we are looking at Berlin, and we have the stars are basically settlements that exist already in the world. I have not truly really explored Berlin a whole lot, so I really don't know much about the planet, but this area looks kind of cool, although I don't think this works necessarily very well with the warp crystal. Like if I aim right here, it's not necessarily going to put me there. But that's where I'm going to aim for, is right by that, kind of by that lake there. So the warp, we're still continuing a new dawn. Collect a warp conduit near the altar. The warp conduit is an essential block for known world citizens. Obtained, I guess I should have kept reading first. So now we need to equip the warp conduit. So equipping items: citizens have the ability to hold several items at once. Press E to open your inventory and assign the warp conduit to your left hand. So we will select that, and it wants us to put it into this slot. So now we need to place the warp conduit on a matching block to complete the warp. Press the left mouse button to place the warp conduit. So what you want to do is you want to basically complete the warp layout. These are invalid configurations. You place the block down and now you've created the a warp. So setting your warp destination, you have created a warp conduit tower. Look at the tower, then press E to interact with the warp and activate your destination. So my destination is saved from when we shot at Berlin. So we will hit E and it's opening up our portal to Berlin. So break the warp conduits with your totem to reveal the warp. Look at the warp conduit tower and then press the mouse button to break the blocks with your totem. So we have the totem in our hands, so now we broke the blocks. And what are warps? Warps are one-way portals leading to your selected destination. Once entered, warps close behind the citizen. Feeling homesick? Use the tab menu if you wish to return to the Sanctum at any time. So now we have our first portal, and this portal is, for anybody new to the game, these portals are real time. So as I'm looking through this portal, I am looking at Berlin in real time, and I can see creatures running around. If there was any players around, you would be able to see them through the portal. So let's hop through the portal, and now we've completed that objective, A New Dawn. Now we have building a temporary campfire. We need to gather trunks, gather foliage. So breaking tree trunks. Hit a tree with your totem to break the block and collect the trunks and foliage. Use wheel up and wheel down to cycle between your held items. So right now we only have the 2 items, and that's all we have equipped, but we can cycle through with our mouse wheel. Once we get more items, we can equip more items. So we need to start collecting some foliage. So we are collecting our last trunk that we need right now. So now we have collected all of that stuff. So now we can handcraft a campfire. So ready to craft. Open the inventory and select handcraft. Choose a recipe, then select an item for handcrafting. Missing ingredients? Scavenge for supplies before returning to the handcraft menu. So we go and press E to go into our inventory, and then there's a tab for handcrafting. In here we need to craft a campfire, so we will select campfire and then handcraft 1. So now we need to equip the campfire. So we will equip it, and then now we need to place the campfire. What campfires are an excellent way to temporarily claim a plot of land as your own. Items placed within your claimed land are invulnerable to the dangers of the worlds. That is until the campfire expires. Once its flames are extinguished, the items inside the campfire base become vulnerable to other players or sacrifice to the world. So this game has regen. Oh, there's a spitter. Actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that one of the updates actually made it so until you are level 6 and above. So I'm only level 1 still. Until you're level 6 or above, creatures are not hostile to you. So even though there's a spitter here, which I would normally have to worry about, he's not going to attack me at all because I am a low level character. So it's a nice safety thing put in for new players. So we need to place this campfire down. We need to find a location to build on. And kind of my goal for this character in this playthrough is to have him basically for a while at least is have him basically fend for himself. I'm not gonna use my higher level characters to give him any equipment, anything like that. I want to have this player basically be like a new player and show what it's like to be a new player. So this is kind of a cool spot. We have some water kind of all the way around us and stuff. So I'm actually going to place my campfire down here. We're going to have a campfire by the lake. So I'm going to equip my campfire. And we're just going to place it down. So now we leveled up. We increased to level 2. We have 1 land plot, 5 skill points. And now it's teaching us about skill points. So we built our campfires, so now our next one is first power up. Spend a skill point. The skill points are awarded each time you level up. Spend skill points in the skill tree to upgrade your citizen. Press tab to open the options menu, then select citizen to access the skills menu. So we go in here, we press tab, we hit citizen, and then up on the top we have 2 tabs, profile and skills. We'll click skills, and then this is where all of our skills are located. And we have to start at the top. So we have to, before we can get into this level of the skill tree, we have to put in 4 skills out of the core. So our only option that we have right now is to put points into basic crafting recipes, which unlocks the ability to craft basic items in a crafting table. Recipes can be found in the crafting table's recipe list. So we will spend our 5 points on that. Now we need to handcraft timber from trunks. Timber is a common crafting material which is manufactured from harvesting tree trunks. It's widely used for crafting and is the core ingredient for making a crafting table. So I need to go collect some more timber, and so I need to go craft some more I need to go collect some more trunks so I can craft some timber. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am back at my campfire. I went and collected some timber from that tree that's over there. Another point about the campfire, what the campfire does is that it protects your plots. The world is divided into 8 by 8 by 8 plots, and you need to have either a campfire or a beacon controller, which we'll get into further down the line, to preserve your plots. And then you have to fuel those beacons in order to keep your plots safe from other players and from world regeneration, because the world will regenerate. So I chopped down part of that tree over there, and if nobody comes through this area for more than 8 hours, that tree will regenerate back to its original state in the world. So I went and collected some timber, and I need to craft some wood trunks. So I'll go back into my crafting menu, and I need to craft some timber. I need to craft 10 of these. You get 2 for each trunk. So we just have to do this 5 times, and we should have our timber. So now we need to craft a crafting table, which is a type of crafting machine. It can be used to manufacture more advanced items which cannot be handcrafted. So we'll go back into our crafting menu. We will craft a crafting table. And now we need to equip the crafting table and place it down. So let's place it over here. So craft tools with the crafting table. Timber in your inventory, sticks in your inventory. Timber is a widely used material, handcrafted from harvest trees trunks. Sticks are also manufactured from tree trunks and are an essential ingredient for tool making. So while I was out, I did just grab a few extra trunks so we can craft sticks. Now sticks, you get 4 per trunk. So now we have our 12 sticks, and we just need to create some more timber. And now we have 12 sticks and 12 timbers. So now we get to craft a wood axe with the crafting table, a wood hammer, and a wood shovel. So we need to look at the crafting table and press E to open the crafting table menu. Choose a craftable item in the recipe selection or recipe section, then transfer the required items from your inventory to crafting table ingredients. Some items take longer to craft than others and will appear in the queue until crafting is complete. So you look at your crafting table, you press E, and it'll open up your crafting table UI. And we have our contents page, our recipes page, and then our queue page. So what you want to do is, this is where it houses your ingredients for your crafting table. So you want to move your sticks and your timber down into there, and then go to your recipes tab, and we need to craft a wood axe, a wood hammer, and a wood shovel. Now these are all instant craft. There's no time on them, so the queue didn't really fill up at all. And then you got to go back to your contents tab, and in your contents tab is where you will find your crafted items. So after you craft something out of your queue, it'll pop up into this area of the UI for your crafted items. So then you just want to collect them out of your crafted items area. So now we need to build a permanent base. We need to go collect some rocks. A little bit of a hint. Oh, we're up to level 3 now. So a little bit of a hint when you're first starting out this game is that storage is currently locked behind some skills. So you really don't have much storage options for when you're first starting out. So what most players do, I did it when I was first starting out, is use a crafting table as a storage container. Eventually we'll get into being able to craft storage containers, but for now we have 8 slots in the crafting table that we can use for storage. So I'm actually going to put my leaves in there and my sap in there because I really don't need that stuff while I'm out adventuring. And then I am going to move some stuff around here a little bit and equip these new tools that I got, the kind of the way that I like to equip tools. So we have that. So now what we're supposed to be doing is finding rocks, and we have some hills right up there that we can go collect some rocks from. I'm kind of happy with the location that I picked here, so I will be right back when we get up to that hill. Alright, we're coming back. We're coming up to this hill, and so what we got to do is collect 10 rocks. So it says rocks are typically located on the side of mountains or underground. Use the hammer to break rocks faster and collect the items dropped. So this will be our last one. So now we have our 10 rocks. So now our next one is, so here's where we're crafting a beacon control with the crafting table. So we need to head back over to our crafting table. While I'm talking, I'm just grabbing a few more rocks because we'll want a few more rocks. So we can actually hopefully get into fairly quickly some stone tools. Okay, so we're coming back up to our plotted area here, and we're at our crafting table. So now we need to craft a beacon control at the crafting table. So what the beacon control is, it offers more permanent base solution than a campfire, providing it remains field. So you need to keep your beacon control burning to protect your claimed land and items within from other players and consumption by the world. So let's go into our crafting table, go into our recipes, and see what we need for a beacon control. So beacon control, we need any rock, any timber, and any foliage. So let's put in, while I was out there, I did collect a few more rocks, and then I did stop and collect some more wood trunk from a tree. So now we should be able to select, what are we missing? Oh, we need timber actually. So let's craft some timber then. That should be plenty of timber, and then now we can craft our beacon control. Now see, this one takes, well, it said 20 seconds, but so here's where our Q tab is at, and you can actually see the item counting down to craft. And once it's complete, it'll pop up here. And there we have it. So now we need to equip and place the beacon in the area we wish to claim. So the compass is, and it says finding a spot for your beacon. The compass is an indispensable tool for any citizen. Unlock it in the skill tree and locate nearby settlements, undiscovered regions, players, and friends from your friends list. Will you choose to build your base near other settlements or branch out alone? So let's equip our beacon control, and we're going to stay right here. So I'm just going to place this kind of next to the campfire. And now, fueling your beacon, press E when looking at your beacon control to interact with it. Add trunks or foliage to the fuel slot to fuel your beacon. When the fuel expires, the items inside are no longer protected and are vulnerable to other players, blah 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 blah. So this is the UI for the beacon control. So we have the overview, we have where we can name this. Right now it's unnamed, so let's rename this. We're going to rename it BB's house. So we have, says we actually got 2 plots, but then we have our location, we have a number of plots, our beacon prestige, and then we can add this to our beacons list, which I'll show you the beacons list after. So it should be added to our beacons list. This is our coin box, which is for our footfall. So basically anybody that walks through your area, you collect some revenue off of that. This is the field tab. So here's where we'd be able to add foliage or wood to fuel the beacon. Right now we're currently only fueled for 23 hours. So we need to grab a little bit of back of our wood, and let's place some wood in there. I don't want to place it all, so to like select other amounts other than the full stack, you right click on your mouse and hold the mouse button down, and then you get this radial dial that you can circle around to whatever quantity you want to take off. So I'm going to take off 5 of that, and I think 5 of this. I believe timber works. So we put your fuel into this fuel slot, and then you hit add fuel. So actually I want to do it one at a time. Let's see what one adds for us. So 1 timber, and I want to do the same with wood trunk. So we'll start with wood trunk because wood trunk is basically the baseline without being processed or anything. So we're at 23 hours and 40 minutes. So let's add fuel with just 1 twisted wood trunk. So 1 trunk adds a whole day. So now we're up to 1 day, 23 hours. So now let's try the timber. And a timber adds 2 days. That's pretty interesting because you get, for 1 trunk, you get 2 timbers. So you wouldn't want to put in regular just wood trunks. You want to do timbers at a minimum, just because it adds so much more to it. So let's see if this adds another 2 days. So this should, if my findings are correct, this should pop up to 5 days, 23 hours. And it does. And then let's try this one more time just to make sure. Single wood trunk, this should go up to 6 days then, because it only adds 1 day at a time. And it does. Okay. So actually I'm learning something while I'm doing this too, so I'm going to actually get this up to so I'm going to throw 6 in here, which should add 12 days, so then we should be up to 18 days. So it'll be like one week, 4 days. Oh, 2 weeks, 4 days. Huh. Alright, so we'll just leave that at that. So we have we leveled up again. So as your level increases, so does the number of plots available to you. Use them to build new campfires and beacon controls, or extend the size of your current bases with a beacon plotter. A beacon plotter is a crafted item which can be made in the crafting table. So now we go to our crafting table and look at our available recipes. And we have beacon plotter, and beacon plot remover. So now we need any timber and any stones. So let's put our wood and timber back in. Oh, we don't have our... Okay, so we got to... It's kind of weird that it doesn't tell us to do that. So we have... It's telling us to craft a beacon plotter with the crafting table, but it doesn't tell us we need stones. Well, I've played the game for a while, so I understand what a stone is. Most new players are going to come into this and they're going to be, I have my stone that I collected put into there, but this is actually rock. You actually need to convert your rock into stones. So let's craft a bunch of stones. So that's kind of interesting that you have to, and there's a crafting time for these, so we have a bunch queued up to craft. And actually, yeah, the max amount that you can have crafting at a time is 20. That's what your queue is. So we're probably going to need to cancel some of these, because otherwise we'll be sitting here for a while waiting for these to finish crafting. But I find it interesting that you need to craft a beacon plotter without the game basically telling you how to craft stones first. It teaches you how to craft timber, but not stones. So in order to cancel an item, you click on it in your queue line basically, and then there's an option for cancel item crafting. So let's actually just cancel a few of these. And then let's add these stones to our crafting table ingredients, and then now we should be able to craft a beacon plotter. So let's craft one beacon plotter. It has a crafting time of 10 seconds, so that'll craft pretty quickly. So it says as your level increases, so your number of plots. So basically you need this to be able to add any additional plots. So let's select that, put it into our So now we need to equip and use the beacon plotter to extend our beacon. So let's equip that, and it says the beacon plotter is a craftable tool which allows you to extend your beacon. New plots must border your current beacon areas. So any new plots need to actually be connected to your original beacon plot. So I can add this plot, this plot, this plot, this plot. I could add the plot below me if I could see it, and the plot above me. But I could not add this plot like right here because it wouldn't be connected to anything. So I am going to add I think I'm going to add this one. So in order to add a beacon plot, so we have it equipped into our left hand, so we need to push the left mouse button to add a plot. So now we've increased the size of our beacon, and we've completed the weekly experience bonus, I guess. We've completed the daily experience bonus. So now our first steps objective is complete. So now we're to a point where we need to activate and complete an objective. So completed your first steps: explorer, builder, hunter, trader, fighter. Your journey to rebuild and colonize the universe has begun. View your inventory, track progress, or set and view objectives in the citizens tab at any time. So we've completed the basic starter tutorial parts. Do I have more available plots? Oh, I do. So I want to claim a little bit more. I want to claim this and this, and we should have one more. And this, just because I want to make like a dock or something to come off there, would look kind of cool. And I'm actually going to kind of plan on build the house kind of around this little river part, and try to leave this little river part kind of intact inside of the house. So we'll see how that goes with this character. So I am going to leave this episode here. When we come back to this character, we will start back up with our taking a look at our, so we're to the point where we can start to look at our objectives. So that's what we'll do in our next episode. When you push tab, and then in your main menu you have your we have 10 available skill points. So let's actually do that really quick so we can upgrade our compass. And then now we're to the point where we can either unlock scanner, which it reveals more information about objects, resources, and creatures in the world when looking at them, or we can sprint. So we definitely want to sprint. So we've spent all of our skill points, but when we come back, we'll want to look at the objectives and start selecting what our objectives are that we're going to be working on next, so we can work our way through our objectives, and we will go from there and see what it's like to be a new player in this game. So thanks everybody for watching. Remember to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I will talk to everybody later. Bye now.